And with the brake hanger removed, I can now take the side panel off. Yeah, it's nailed along the bottom. Not a big issue because the nails are into this piece of timber here, which is as rotten as a pear. But it's also got screws. Now there's coach bolts through those two holes, but a screw in there. That needs to come out. Now, some of you have done this sort of thing many times. Some of you have never tried it. But the first thing that you've got to think about is that screw has been in there a long time. It's an old one, it's made out of iron, I'm going to say. Maybe technically it's steel, but it's ferrous, and it's in wood which gets damp and dry and damp and dry, and that means that that screw will have gone rusty. And we need to remove it without breaking it, because I want the hole to be preserved. First thing that needed doing with this, and I've already done it, is to clean out the slot. That is why you have lots of old, cheap, nasty screwdrivers. Because you use the screwdriver almost like it's a chisel, and you chop out all of the muck and nasty that was in that slot, get it all nice and clean. And then you try to turn the screw, but you don't try too hard, because it's not going to move. You try it just in case it does. You know, there's a possibility that it's rusted all the way through and there's nothing behind that screw head. But you don't try it enough to damage the slot. So if it doesn't move, what you then do with your old screwdriver, or one you've borrowed from a friend, incidentally, this is how you lose friends. You put the screwdriver in the slot, you don't try to turn it, but you bosh the handle of the screwdriver as hard as you can with the biggest hammer that's in sort of easy reach. And what that will do is it will shake, it will wake up the screw, and it will remind the screw that it's not welded to the wood. It still probably won't move. So what we need to do is to apply pressure on the end of a screwdriver and a lot of torque. That's T-O-R-Q-U-E, not T-A-L-K. And there's a trick to that. As you progress into your 7th decade, you find sometimes that gripping a screwdriver by hand is not as easy as it was when you were only 27. So there's a little dodge for that. You get yourself a pair of Stilsons and you grip the screwdriver with the Stilsons. As I say, it's best that you borrow a screwdriver from someone who's about to become an ex-friend, and you can apply a lot of torque at the same time. With the other hand, you can be applying a lot of pressure on the end of the screwdriver. That's the theory. Let's find out if it works. There we are. Have we got you all? Are you all sitting comfortably? Right. We put the screwdriver in the slot. We apply pressure, and I've got my fat gut against the other side of the wood, and then I can apply as much torque as I want, and the screw turns. He said. Now once you've got it moving, you possibly don't need so much torque. So we'll pop that down and finish the job by hand. And there we have an extracted screw. That one looks as if it'll clean up on the wire wheel and be used again. And I haven't damaged the slot. Now if you do damage the slot, the whole thing then becomes a nightmare, because you then need to drill down the middle of it and put a screw extractor in it. That's not so much fun. Right. Whoops. Taking the side off didn't work quite how it was supposed to. What was supposed to happen was the side was supposed to come off that piece of wood there. What actually happened was that piece of wood there broke there, and the tenon in the end broke. It's rotten. But I haven't damaged the side, and that is the important bit, I think. Right, I think it's time for me to put the kettle on, don't you? And in the background, the kettle has just finished boiling, and I've found a new friend. It's always good to have visitors. Let's just, if I put my finger there, yeah, she is a big person. I like spiders. They eat all the things that bite me.